Welcome to the Jefatona Podcast. I am your host, Delilah Dee. This is the place where women can explore what it means to be successful without leaving any part of themselves or their culture behind. In each episode, we talk ambition, we talk expression, and evolution on our own terms. Baby, it is time to get into the episode. Oh my God, I'm starting a podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Jefatona Podcast. It is your girl, Delilah Dee. I'm so freaking excited. It is here. It is a new era. It is a season of evolution. I need you to understand, this has been like years in the making. Since 2020, I have been trying to launch a podcast. There's been so many instances that happen. Like I got the green light to go ahead. I was going to launch a podcast with a brand. I was going to launch a podcast with a friend. I was going to launch a podcast by myself. It was just everything was always put into motion, but then it just never went through. But I just feel like, God was just like, it's not time. It's not time, Delilah. It's not time. But now it is the time. And now I'm super excited to welcome you all to the Jefatona Podcast. I know I'm a little bit loud, but for those of you guys that know me, those of you ladies that know me, those of you date-dums that know me, like, this is just me. This is just who I am. So, take me for who I am. No, all jokes aside, I'm so excited. I know I was a little hesitant at first to do this because like everyone's just like, oh, everyone's launching a podcast. Not everyone needs a mic or blah, 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 whatever. But, when you go to a supermarket, you're going to see like 20, 30 different brands of cereal. You're going to see like 20, 30 different brands of bread. You're going to see 20, 30 different brands of juices. And these companies are still pushing out. People have a niche market. People, some relate to certain cereal brands, some don't. Some like certain type of bread, some don't. And I just feel like I have something different to offer. So I'm excited to be here. I've held myself back multiple times because personally, as much as I love to talk, I actually do not like the sound of my voice, if I'm being honest. And I'm always like, even I'm always like filming on my Instagram stories. And then when I rewatch my stories, I'm like cringing. I'm like, how do people like intentionally choose to watch my stories? My voice is so annoying. But you know what? I'm here. I got stories to share. I have messages to put out. And I'm just excited to kind of enter this new journey. I feel like, for those of you guys don't know, Jefatona has been, it's on an evolution right now. So like what started off, when I first started Jefatona was in March of 2023. And it started off as just an all-girl reggaeton and Caribbean party series. I just wanted to create a safe space for women to let loose, have fun. I was going through a very interesting Q1 that there was just a lot going on professionally, emotionally, spiritually. And I just wanted to shake ass. Like, I just really wanted to hang out with a couple girlfriends of mine. I was like, yo, like, I just want to have a good time. But it's funny, when I launched the first party, it was supposed to just be like a yearly event during Women's History Month. It was going to be a yearly all-girl party, just something I did just to do. I did not know it was going to blow up into like what it's blowing up into right now. So yeah, we did the first one, and when we launched, I thought I was washed because I like pre-pandemic, I was always doing events, I was hosting, I was here, I was there, but then the pandemic happened, and then that transitioned to like the tech scene, and I was just, I went from doing events all the time to being behind a computer screen, and then I went into like marketing and operations and social media manager, did all that for about like 2-3 years, and then when I decided to do my first event again, I remember I was like, am I washed? Are people going to show up? Like, do people still like me? And yeah, we launched the tickets for the first event, sold out an entire club in 24 hours. And I was like, whoa, like this is cool. But again, I thought it was just going to be a one-time thing. And then after the first event, just that magical space, that energy, is just something about like that feminine energy that just does something. And I'm always going to advocate for womanhood, for sisterhood, for community. But that space was it was really a magical night. And it's like after that night, my DMs were blowing up, my emails are blowing up. When's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? And then my birthday's in May, so I decided like, okay, let me just do one in May, just to throw another one just for, shits and giggles. The same thing. We did it in a new venue, a bigger venue, and dropped tickets. We sold out in 24 hours. And I'm like, okay, we have something here. But fast forward, started doing parties, across the tri-state area. Now we're building out a tour. But I just I knew I wanted to do something more. So it's so funny. I was actually having this conversation with the team before we started recording. I've become such a homebody, and I just think it's so hypocritical, the fact that I put on like experiential like party series, because I'm not the type of girl that parties, and I just have like natural energy anywhere I go, but I just love being home. So the fact that I'm doing this, I just think it's funny. No, it's been beautiful to see just the limitless opportunities that's coming with Jefatona. So I have a background in everything from events to marketing to media to e-commerce, to philanthropy, to nonprofit work. And everything is coming into full circle with Jefatona. And, I'm so excited to be launching this podcast because, there was a time when I used to run my own media blog, and I used to be the one, I used to sneak into like music festivals or red carpets with a little cheap microphone from Amazon, and I have a little camera. I'll bring whatever friend I have, and I have a little cheap camera, and I was doing red carpet interviews at award shows, like next to, freaking TMZ, E! News, all of that. I mean, even though my media outlet was all the way at the end of the line and I didn't get that many people that came to me, but I was still there. So it was always an exciting time. I love having in-depth conversations with people. I love sharing stories. I've always been big on, the previous media outlet I have was very big on just sharing the stories of the underdogs, sharing the stories of the people who are going through something. Like, I've never been like, oh, what are you wearing today? Or, oh, like, what's the latest tea or the latest whatever? Like, I don't care about that. Like, I like, genuine conversations. I like deep conversations. I like to talk about challenges, obstacles, adversity. I love to talk about moments of growth. Like, these conversations are always the type of conversations that can really impact people. And, that's the type of conversations I have. So it was something I've always wanted to do with my previous media outlet. But then, life, and then, just kind of stopped with that. But it's cool that I'm able to bring the media element into Jefatona. Again, I have a background in events and production. We're doing that with the party series. I have a background in media. Now I'm doing that with the podcast we have here. I have a big heart for philanthropy work. I am partnered with Women Against Abuse, which is a leading domestic survivor organization here in Philadelphia. So I donate a portion of my proceeds from all of my events to that organization. So I'm able to add that tier. We're about to like launch a merch line. There's just so much happening, and it's just so exciting because it's like this whole evolution that's happening with the brand. And we definitely have something special here. I definitely have something special, and it's not because of me, it's because of the community. So I really wanted to do this because I really wanted to tap into getting into deeper conversations. Yeah, we can shake ass, let loose, have fun, celebrate life. I'm all for that. But I'm really big on transitional periods. I'm really big on, just having people, myself and people around me tap into the best versions of themselves. So that's what I want to do with this podcast. I'm going to share stories of amazing, incredible people that have inspired me in some way, shape, or form. And, we're going to, not share all the fluff. We're going to get, into some, heavy conversations, some touchy subjects, but I think these conversations need to be had. I'm so excited because I've been on this crazy journey, and again, the whole concept of this podcast is evolution. And I feel like that's the season that I'm in right now. And I'm repeating the words over and over again, like evolution, evolution, evolution. So you that listening to this right now, like, I want to think about your own evolution. I want you to think about everything you went through. I want you to think about all the failures you experienced. I want you to think about all the times you felt like you wanted to give up, but you didn't. Like, what happened? There was an evolution that happened. I want you to acknowledge yourself. I want you to give yourself your flowers. I want you to really give yourself a pat on the back for the journey you've been on, because it is part of your evolution. And that's really what I want to touch on with this podcast. I've recently, closed a big chapter in my life. I'm really going all in with this Jefatona brand. It's a little scary. It's really, really scary, but I'm excited. I've spent years building other people's brands. I've spent years, just kind of help other people elevate in more ways than one, which I love. And I'm so honored I've been able to have the opportunity to do so. But now it's my time. It's my time to pour into me. It's my time to, fuck around and find out. It's my time to just be like, Delilah, what happens if you go all in? What happens if you just, take that leap of faith? What happens if you just bet on yourself? Like, and for anyone that's listening to this, it's just, I really want you to take this moment to like think about what can you do to bet on yourself? Like what can you do to stop sleeping on yourself? What can you do to really just go big or go home? And I feel like that's kind of like what I'm doing right now as part of my evolution. And if you're listening to this right now, like you're already part of the community that knows like you have this burning desire to want to do something great. You have this burning desire to want to tap into this new version of you. But like, we have to take accountability. And it's something I had to acknowledge, that I was holding myself back in so many ways, shapes, or form. I was dimming my own light. I was like, I felt like, I know I'm really freaking good at what I do. I know that anything I touch turns to gold. And I've proven that time and time again, but now it's just like, but I never wanted to do that with myself, because I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I always felt like, maybe, this isn't meant for me, or maybe I feel like I was always holding myself back. And it's just, even though I'm so grateful for all of the seasons I've had, I'm so grateful for everything I've experienced, everything I've learned. I'm just like in this space that it's just like, all right, it's time just like for me to pour into me. And I really hope, for you that is listening or watching, you really take this time to really reflect on your own journey, really reflect on how you're holding yourself back, how you're dimming your own light. And I really want you to reflect so you can stop that. Because, baby, we all deserve to be out here walking around like the best versions of ourselves. We all deserve to be walking in our purpose. We all deserve to be genuinely, wholeheartedly happy. And that's like really the season that I'm in right now. Like, I just want to do things that feels good, that feels aligned, that feels right. And just, keep it moving. If it works out, great. That's awesome. Yay me for betting on me. But if not, just another lesson learned, just something else I'll grow from. But yeah, that's what this whole concept of this podcast is, just really creating a space, creating a platform to have these conversations, to inspire you to really show up as yourself authentically as you're moving in this crazy thing we call life, to really show up as the best versions of yourselves as you're taking these leaps of faith and, just betting on yourself. And I really want us to all be happy. I really want us to all be winning. I really want us to all be growing. I really want us to all experience the evolution together. Like, no one is better than any other person. I'm not better than you. You're not better than, like, we're on the same, like, level. Like, and I feel like we need to really, again, we just come together and just really, okay, what can we do to become the best versions of ourselves? Like, baby, the world will be such a better place, because there's so many angry people walking around, so many bitter people walking around, but a lot of it has to do because, like, they're just not tapping into their full potential. They're just not, not in a place where they want to be, and like, because they are the ones that are holding themselves back. I just hope that everyone that tunes in, I'm so excited for this new chapter of Jefatona. I'm so excited for the stories I'm going to be sharing, and I'm so excited for your responses and your feedback. I'm so excited to hear about your evolution, because I know, like, the more you hear these stories, the more you're going to want to be your own, like, be that own phoenix that rise from the ashes, be your own person that really was just like, yo, I did it. Like, I bet on myself and I did it. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Jefatona. Thank you for everyone for listening. I'm so, so, so excited for this podcast. I'm so excited for everything that's going to come into fruition because of this podcast. I'm already claiming it. I'm already owning it. And I'm excited to have all of you on this journey with me. And again, like, I really want you, anyone that's listening right now, to make sure you're intentional with showing up for you. Make sure you're intentional with not dimming your light. I cannot reiterate that enough. Like, I really, really, really want you to shine bright. I really, really want you to be walking around like the best version of you, because you deserve it. You deserve it. Your legacy deserves it. Your future descendants deserve you to be walking around as the best version of you. But yeah, just make sure you tune in, you listen, you subscribe, you tell a friend to tell a friend, and welcome to the Jefatona Podcast with me, Delilah Dee. Thank you for tuning into the Jefatona Podcast. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, subscribe, and maybe leave a review or two. Until next time, love you. Bye.